Being a music lover and audiophile in general, and I mean that in the sense that I have a love and passion for audio, a few months ago I decided to get into vinyl. So after picking up a U-Turn Audio Orbit Custom, review coming soonish, I got into a conversation with my mom and found out that she had a bunch of old records from when she was younger. Now think the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, you know, the good stuff. Anyway, in that conversation, she mentioned that she would like to get a turntable so that she could listen to all of her old records again. Now, fast forward to a few weeks ago, I was having a conversation with my brother, and we decided that we would go in on a turntable for her as a Christmas present. Now, if you've looked into buying a turntable, you'll know that they can range anywhere from $100 up into the thousands. And the $100 ones are really not good. I mean, they don't have an adjustable tracking force. The tracking force tends to be set too high. They don't have a good stylus. The stylus isn't changeable, so they can end up damaging your records. And once the stylus does wear out, you just have to kind of chuck the whole thing and get a new one. And it's not really until you get up into that $300 to $400 range that you're pretty much guaranteed to get something good. So with a budget of $150 to $200 in mind, I set out to find a good turntable for that price. Even though it might not be quite perfect, at least it should be really good and upgradable to something better in the future. So in my search, I came across the RT80 by Fluance on Amazon, and it was normally $200, marked down to $170. And with a bunch of reviews stating its value for the money, I decided to give it a shot. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the table itself, how to set it up, all of the features that it has, some pros and cons, and I might even give it a little bit of a comparison to the U-Turn Audio Orbit itself. The RT80 comes nicely packaged with the base, dust lid, and the main part of the tonearm all pre-assembled. All that's required for setup is installing the platter, the cart, and the counterweight, then setting the tracking force. Fluance obviously put a good amount of thought into the design of this table, as the installation was really pretty straightforward. To set up, all you have to do is place the platter over the spindle, line up the opening in the platter where the attached ribbon is located with the motor pulley, then using the aforementioned ribbon, pull the belt over the motor pulley. Finally, place the provided felt slip mat on the top of the platter. Next, attach the counterweight to the back of the tonearm by sliding it over the tonearm with the number side forward and pressing firmly until it clicks in place. You can tell that the counterweight is attached properly by rotating it clockwise or counterclockwise, and in doing so it should move up or down the tonearm. After the counterweight is attached, the head shell can be installed by plugging it into the front of the tonearm and tightening the locking nut until it's secure. Once the tonearm is fully assembled, you will need to calibrate the tracking force of the anti-skate. To do this, release the tonearm lock, lower the cueing lever, and move the tonearm over to the platter. Without letting the stylus touch the platter, adjust the counterweight by rotating it until the tonearm hovers horizontally over the platter. This indicates that the tracking force is zeroed. Now rotate the numbered disc at the front of the counterweight without rotating the counterweight itself until the 0 is aligned with the indicator at the top of the tonearm. Once that's done, rotate the entire counterweight counterclockwise until the 2 is aligned with the indicator line on the tonearm. The tracking force is now set to 2 grams. All that's left to do is adjust the anti-skate dial to match. Now all that's left to do is plug it in and start spinning some records. Okay, so as you can tell, the Fluance RT80 is a pretty feature-packed little turntable for the price. The things that I particularly like are the adjustable counterweight with the numbers on it. So all you have to do is balance it and then set it. You don't have to have an actual scale to know exactly what the tracking force is at. Now, I'm sure it's not 100% accurate, so if you're really worried about getting an absolutely specific tracking force, you might want to actually buy one of those scales. But for the price point that it's at and for what it is, it's a really good deal. I also like that it includes the Q lever, which is a $40 upgrade on the U-Turn Audio Orbit. And also as a nice touch is the little tonearm locking mechanism that it has in place. Also on the top is a selectable knob for 33 or 45, so this turntable doesn't do 72 RPM. Not many of them really do. You really have to find a very specific turntable that will do that RPM range. The selector knob on the top switches between off, 33, and 45, so it's really easy to set, whereas something like, again, the U-Turn Audio Orbit, you actually have to move the belt over to a different pulley level, and that kind of gets to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. It's not quite as simple as flicking a switch. Another kind of positive and negative all in one with the RT80 is the fact that it comes with the, I think it's like the AT90E or something. It's a cartridge that has a conical stylus. It's pretty much Audio-Technica's most budget entry-level cartridge. The RT81, which actually comes with a walnut finish, but they're both MDF. It's just a slightly different look. The RT81 actually comes with an AT95E, which is an elliptical stylus, so that's definitely an upgrade. That one, though, is the RT81 is another $50. It's actually $250, whereas this one is normally $200, and I got it for $170. So finally, my biggest con for this turntable is the platter itself, the fact that it uses one of those like hollowed out metal ones. So you don't get the thing with the platter on a turntable is that the more mass it has, the more consistent of a rotational speed it will have, the more of a consistent inertia that it'll build up and maintain. So when you have these lighter platters, they're more susceptible to wow and flutter, which is a variation in the spinning speed, which in turn creates a change in pitch as you're listening. Now, the one thing, I did give this a short listen, and the wow and flutter on it is actually pretty good, at least for now. Another thing with belt-driven turntables is you need to change out the belt every now and then, because as the belt wears out, it loosens up and the speed changes a little bit, and it can introduce some slippage, and that can cause issues as well. But so not having, with the way that the whole pulley belt drive system is set up, there's no way to actually change out this platter for another one, at least not that I can see, because the actual, let me move, yeah, so the actual pulley sticks up too much, so it needs to have that hollow platter going on. So that's kind of the biggest negative, but really, like I said, for like a $200 entry-level turntable, it's really not bad at all. Another thing that I meant to mention with the cartridge is that it should be interchangeable. So it has this head shell, and because the RT81 is essentially the same and has a better Audio-Technica cartridge, you will be able to swap that out for at least the AT95E. I would assume that you could swap it out for some others like Ortofon carts, but at least on Amazon, the Amazon questions, Fluance has actually responded saying that it only supports the one that it comes with, but that might just be, you know, them covering their butts. And then at the back of the turntable, you have the standard RCA outputs, the left and right channel, a switch to select between standard output or line output and phono output. So it does have, that's one of the other good things about this turntable, especially for the price, is that it comes with a built-in phono that you can disable if you decide to upgrade later on. And for the price, I mean, the built-in phono cartridge is pretty good. It also has a switch on the back for an auto stop feature. Now, this is not the same as what some other turntables have, where they have an auto return feature, where once the record reaches the end, the tone arm will actually return to the resting position. The auto stop feature on this turntable simply stops the platter from spinning. But stopping the record isn't necessarily a good thing unless it stops perfectly, because some of the issues with you're always supposed to lift the cue, the tone arm, the stylus off of the record before stopping the platter, because when some turntables, when they stop, the platter can actually backtrack a little bit, or the record can backtrack a little bit, and moving in the reversed direction on a stylus can actually damage the stylus. And last, I really like the built-in lid here. It's got a nice little hinging system. It does come fully attached, and it also has these little rubber stops. So when you close it, it's a nice, smooth, quiet close. There's no loud thud, kind of like there is with the U-turn audio orbit. So that is something that I think that they should include in all turntables. And it has this kind of little, once it reaches past this point, it just kind of automatically pops up, which is really cool. I really appreciate that as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative. If you do, leave it a thumbs up. If you didn't, do the other thing. Let me know what you think about this kind of video. Did you enjoy the turntable review overview, or are you just like, dude, get back to the headphones already? Anyway, well, thanks for checking out the video, and as always, I will see you in the next one.